Hey folks, Cody here, back with another beginner bluegrass guitar lesson for you. Today I'm going to talk about mistakes that I made that you need to avoid if you're learning bluegrass guitar. So this video is probably going to get super long-winded. I went to school for bluegrass music at East Tennessee State University's Bluegrass and Old Time Country Music program up there in the Tri-Cities of East Tennessee. Graduated years ago now, and now I'm making a channel here and showing you videos demonstrating and teaching you what I learned there, all right? So mistake number one / mistake number 2 / 3 is all about guitar picks. One of the biggest battles that I faced in my 30s, sort of relearning and focusing on this style of music, is that I held my guitar pick the wrong way. I don't know how I ended up with the habit, but I'm gonna flash up on the screen there how I used to hold it. And I used to hold it with 3 fingers. And oddly enough, one of the biggest names in music that I've ever heard held their guitar pick like this was James Hetfield from Metallica. But for bluegrass music, you do not need to hold it that way, okay? Here is the way that I recommend to hold your guitar pick. Watch closely. Okay, your pointer finger, position it like that, and then fold it down. Then you're gonna put that pick right there on that meaty part between your pinky and your first knuckle, and then you're going to cover up that half of the pick with your thumb. And that is loosely how you're going to hold that guitar pick, with 2 fingers, okay? And you don't want to hold that super tightly. You're going to change how tightly you hold it depending on if you're playing rhythm or you're playing lead, but that is generally how you're going to hold on to this guitar pick, all right? I'll say mistake 1.5 that people make is not focusing on your up and down picking pattern from the very get-go, okay? Because you may have the instinctual tendency to play everything either with like down picks, like, okay? You really have to be focusing on not only just playing each individual string, going up, down, up, down, up, down, but also changing between these strings, okay? You're gonna hop around a lot in bluegrass music. The scary part, I hate to tell you, is that there is nowhere to hide. That's what, in my opinion, makes all of this so difficult. Like, I've got an electric guitar right over here, and if I'm going to play a break or a solo on an electric, it's gonna be way easier to avoid mistakes on an electric guitar. And the way that I think about avoiding the same mistakes on an acoustic when you're playing bluegrass is you have to integrate that up-down picking pattern. You're gonna learn really quickly. Unless you do that, you're gonna hit a wall. Like when you go to play anything after like a G run at speed, the G run, if you're unfamiliar, check the link in the description for tabs to that common run, but it ain't gonna work out. And so I like to tell students to just get that into your psyche from the get-go, because if you don't, you're gonna hit roadblocks, it's gonna be frustrating, you're gonna be like, why can't I do it? Your arms and your wrist are not going to sort of sync up with the sounds that you're hearing on the recording or on the lesson or whatever it might be. Avoid this mistake, all right? So in review, this first part, your pick needs to be held like this, and when you are playing even the first lead note of bluegrass guitar, make sure you are alternating down, up, down, up. Sometimes you'll start up, down, but you have got to lock that in. The next mistake, and I'm speaking all of this from experience, by the way, is not having the right instrument for the job, okay? Something that I've always done as a musician, unfortunately, up until about this past year, is I generally will find the cheapest accessory, the cheapest instrument that is not like the dead bottom, but something that gives me like an intermediate level, whether it be an electric guitar, an electric bass, an acoustic dreadnought guitar. And what I have found in the past year as I've sort of focused on this channel, your instrument and the instrument that I play really matters for so many different reasons. I picked up this Recording King at the beginning of 2024, and my musical experience has been so much better since investing in a pretty good instrument. And this was only like, I think, $800 out the door. But it's made the world of difference. I was used to playing like beginner style Martin guitars because bluegrass players play Martins, right? And so I have to have a Martin, or I had to have one. And, you know, I just thought that if I had that style of guitar, that name brand on the guitar, that that was going to be bluegrass enough. And sure enough, it was, and I learned for many years on those instruments. But you got to think that when you get a solid instrument, it's made differently. It's made to be played longer. It's made to be played harder. It's made for an intermediate musician or what have you. And I am now a big, big believer to just go spend the money. It's gonna be more fulfilling to play. It's actually easier. It's so much easier to play on a well-made instrument. I don't care what people say when they're like, if you're a good player, you can play on any instrument. That might be true, but it's going to be more challenging, and it's not gonna be as fun, and you're gonna have more roadblocks on the way. And what I mean by that is even like the way the frets are sort of filed down and they're just easier to play. And that means that I'm probably gonna be practicing 10 minutes longer, which means that I'm going to get that return on the practice sessions more quickly if I've got an instrument that I care about, that I enjoy playing, and that I want to wake up every morning and start playing. Next, I want to talk quickly about practicing, okay? I see adverts and sponsored ads and things on my feed all the time that says things like, enough with the endless hours of practicing, and you don't have to dedicate crazy amounts of practice time to learn this style of guitar or to get better at this or that. And I cannot say that I believe that to be true when it comes to bluegrass music. This is an intricately difficult style of music to play, mainly because you are on this acoustic instrument. The subtleties that you have to get used to in your fingers and your head and your mind and everything, moving up this guitar neck, and the nuances that come with the types of strings you're using, how well you're practicing that day and how well you've practiced the week before that practice session, that all comes into play. And so I think practicing is super, super important. I think you do have to put in the hours if you want to go and play this style of music, if you want to impress your friends, if you want to really sound like you've dedicated yourself to the journey. I might be missing something, and some folks might learn quicker than others, but you do have to dedicate the time. For many, many years, I kind of stood on a plateau with this style of music. I had the basics down, but I couldn't really get further. And so it's important to seek out help, get on YouTube. There's lots of great channels. I offer a beginner bluegrass guitar course if you are fresh to the genre and you can play your G-C-D chords. If you want a structured approach that's based upon yours truly learning at East Tennessee State University, there's a link in the description for that. But just don't get stuck not learning. So that was 3.5, 4, maybe 5 mistakes. Folks, I hope you found this useful. Again, if you want to learn bluegrass guitar, check the link in the description. If you want to stay up to date with everything that I do, sign up for my email newsletter on my website, codymmusic.com.